Mita, I know I'm late. I'll explain, okay? I have good reasons for being late today. Uh, on top of the technical problems that I always have, because I'm not some technology experts here, okay? I'm here on YouTube and Instagram to teach Chinese. And I'm still, I need to open my YouTube and see if it's working now, or if there's anyone watching. Let me know. Okay, can you see me? Can you hear me clearly? Okay, and how is everyone doing this weekend? So when I woke up this morning, the weather looked really good, super sunny, and looks like a decent spring morning. And now it's like completely cloudy, and weather forecast says it's gonna snow today. It was like 24 Celsius degree the other day, like 2 days ago, and today it's gonna snow. So it's crazy. All right, so I see some comments from YouTube now. So yay, Adam, Carolina, Deborah, Adam, and the Juco 8. Juco? Robert Thomas, 美股逆袭 What? I haven't been following stock news, but with Chris and I have some, US stocks. But we were too scared to check it out, over the past half year. But good news, yeah, 美股逆袭. Although I don't know where that came from. But anyways, all right, I need the tier maker, the ranking stuff too. I made that this morning, and I was very ready until I had to have a phone call with the actress that I trained, back in 2018 and 2019, because she'll need to do a dabbing for her role in the movie that we work together. So that's kind of urgent. So this is why I'm late now, and I'm still waiting my super slow laptop to let me see the YouTube page. So it's kind of urgent, because before it, we've been waiting for this movie to hit the theater so long, like years, literally years, because the movie was supposed to come out in 2000, and of course, the COVID hit, and everything was messed up. And finally, the movie market in China just started to be more normal, I would say. So finally, this movie actually is a trilogy, but the first movie is gonna come out soon. I think it'll be out in the summer. But of course, we need to wait for the official news, official, press. But anyways, so that's the reason. That's the reason why I'm late. So she's gonna do dabbing, and I need to help her to, just to hone the lines that she'll do tomorrow. No, in 2 days. And for pronunciation, it takes time to really nail it, right? It doesn't take that long to explain what you should do, this and that, although that requires some like professional knowledge, research, and experience. But if you wanna nail it, if you wanna say it like your instinct, right? You don't think about it. That takes time. That takes a lot of time, actually. Yeah. But we just had to have that phone call this morning. Well, my laptop is really slow now. I don't know what I can do. Maybe just to get a new laptop. I'm not ready, but it seems I really need a laptop if I wanna do stream more. I want to. I think I will. I will do more. They just I need better equipment. I got that streaming light, right? So I look more like a streamer now. But something more important is very needed. Anyways, Rita make a video about the new HSK. I made it. Did you watch it? So the video is that I asked Laoma Chris to take the hardest Chinese test. And what else? I mean to say, Robert mean to say 没关系 in response to the technical difficulties. Okay, thank you for understanding. But 没关系 turned out to be 美股逆袭, which means the U.S. stocks bounce up from a down period. That's funny. That's funny. They're very different sentences. All right, and also let me just show the video clip. There should be me and right. 为什么教中文一再讲英文真的不明白，而且不是说每个人会说英文。Okay, 马克利 you made a very good point. But because a lot of people who are watching this channel or watching my videos are still like beginners, so that's why I try to, make a point or make myself clear. But of course, 我可以说中文，我可以说中文。大家，如果你说中文，如果你跟我说中文，我会回中文。如果你用中文问我问题，我可以回中文，没问题。But I'm just trying to take care of, everyone or as many people as possible here. Okay. And it says, okay, right. So I'm still live on Instagram, right? Seems there was some problem before. Rita, I wondered about this long time. How do you understand Chinese word meaning when singing since the tones essentially disappeared due to the dynamics of singing? Thanks, Daniel. That's a very good question, Daniel. And you can check out my videos from a couple of months ago. Actually, I made 2 more, like 1 year or 2 years ago, about this. Because if you watched my videos long enough, you would know that I never suggest you to listen to pop music, pop songs to learn Chinese. Because you won't be able to hear all the tones. Because the melody, when there's melody, it trumps the tones, the original tones of each Chinese syllable. And what I recommend is Chinese rap songs. You may not be like big fans of rap music, but it really works better than than just random pop songs. Because I think when you say this, when I say this, it sounds pretty simple, right? It makes sense. But I think not many people have really thought about it, have thought through it. And of course, everyone loves music, right? Or a lot of people love music, and listening to music definitely help with your pronunciation. But it's more about vowels and consonants, and not so much about tones. And of course, tones is a huge part of Chinese pronunciation, right? So to me, it's just not the best. Like random pop songs are just not the best materials to improve your listening and speaking, especially pronunciation. You can always learn something, as long as it's in Chinese. You can always learn something from it. But it's just that if you listen to the music only to improve your pronunciation or your Chinese, I think Chinese rap songs would help a lot more, better. And not every Chinese rap song is the best. There are a couple of Chinese rappers who I think their pronunciation is clear, and also sorry. A lot of rap songs are also melodic, like they sing a lot. Like in Chinese, rap is 说唱, so literally talk and sing. And a lot of rappers sing. So the songs can, sound pretty good. And some melodies are pretty good. But when it comes to learning Chinese, just some certain rappers, certain songs can make the best Chinese learning material. And I introduced how many songs? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4 so far in my previous YouTube videos. So you can check out those. And you can tell like they're rappers, female and male rappers on the thumbnail. So I don't think it's hard to find them. Yeah. And actually, the first video that we're gonna watch today is a Chinese song, sung by Hugh Jackman. I don't know how many of you have seen the movie or have seen this singing clip. It's pretty. It's interesting. Hello, Norbert. Ashley is here. I am a really fan of Guy, 周岩, okay, rapper. But I'm really concerned whether he drops the tones or not while singing. Yeah, so Guy or 周岩became really huge because of the Rap of China, the music variety show that literally brought hip hop music from underground, like overnight. It was huge because some of you know that I was a Chinese rap columnist for 3 years, so I wrote a lot about the Chinese rap scene or hip hop music scene. So he is huge, and I know his songs are super popular in China because of the show. A lot of people know him. Because people may not know, so many rappers, because most of them were still underground. But Guy is just super popular. But his songs are not necessarily to be the best songs, or the best, at least not the best Chinese learning materials, because his songs are pretty melodic. And he uses a lot of Chinese musical elements, so it sounds pretty Chinese because of the musical instruments that he uses, and also his lyrics. There are a lot of kind of 成语 and something like ancient poems. So his lyrics is pretty cool. But like I said, it's more melodic, and he's a pretty good singer. So he sings a lot in his rap songs, and also he speaks a lot of Sichuan dialect. I think he's from Sichuan, some city in Sichuan, but he is based in Chongqing. And Chongqing and Sichuan dialects are pretty similar. Like they're pretty much the same. I mean, I cannot tell the difference, but of course the locals can tell. But they both are categorized as Sichuan Mandarin. So it's a kind of dialect, Mandarin dialect, that is spoken by hundreds of millions of people. Yeah, so you would hear a lot of Sichuan Mandarin dialect accent in his songs. So of course, if your learning goal is to speak standard Mandarin, that's not ideal. Okay. Jordan Woods. Jordan's Street Fire gun is solid for rap. Right. So Street Fire gun is a rap trio that I really like. I went to their concerts once in Beijing, and they are super popular, especially among the overseas Chinese student community, because I think all of them studied in the U.S. They went to college in the U.S. And their songs are pretty good, yeah. And also, I think they tend to rap with the syllables' original tones. I think at least some of their songs can make pretty good learning materials. But one thing about their music is they rap rather fast, if I don't remember wrong. So it might be a little bit hard to listen to their music. And the songs that I recommended in my videos are more the pace is slower, so it might be easier to start with those songs. And then if you like Street Fire Gun or who else, and Pharaoh, yeah, you can check out more, or you can just find the songs that you like more. Okay. What else? Quizmaster China, upload to other video platforms for the inevitable demonetization and takedown, even though you are clearly in fair use. Yeah, let's just see what happened this time, because the previous two videos were just blocked or partially blocked and totally demonetized. Like I have no idea what the YouTube regulation is now. And Norval said, 也许 Johnny J 比 Guy 还是出名吧。Johnny J, yeah, Johnny J, I don't know if I should say this. He looks better, and I think he definitely has a more loyal fan base than Guy, because Guy's fans can be, like different kinds of people, but I think Johnny J's fans are more, girls. Yeah. Anyways, I think I'm ready to do this now. Oh, and it live video paused. Why? Is it the internet or what? Seems it's really bad on Instagram today. What happened? Okay. All right. I guess if it freezed on Instagram, you just quit and then enter again. Okay, I think that works. All right, so like I said, today our stream is to rank a few, six Hollywood stars speaking Chinese, and most of them are just speaking Chinese in movies or TV shows. And I think you might have watched some of them before, okay? But today we can just break it down, okay, and see what we can learn from it. Okay, it's not only about ranking, but we can definitely learn something from this. Okay, all right. So the first one, as you can tell, or you can now tell, 这是谁? Who do you think this is? 你觉得这是谁? 他是谁? Can you see it? Oh, Jordan said Street Farragon just played at UCLA the other week. Oh, I think I saw the news. Cool. So they are in the US now. Alright, so Deborah said Hugh Jackman. Yes, you're right. This is Hugh Jackman. And what is this movie? Has anyone seen this movie before? I think it was kind of famous in China because the story setting is based in China. But I don't know if anyone outside China has heard of it. 他是谁? 我不知道. It is difficult from the side visual. Yeah. Okay. Is there a front? Oh yeah, this lighting is kind of clearer. This is clearer, huh? Right, so this is Hugh Jackman. Okay. And so this movie, let me show you this screen. So this movie, its Chinese name is 雪花秘扇. 雪花秘扇. Okay, so so the English name is just literally translated from Chinese word by word. So 雪花 snow flower, aka snowflakes. 雪花 and 秘扇 like secret fan, and you can see on the movie poster there's a secret fan. So this is actually about a mysterious ancient Chinese lesbian-ish culture. So like girls for girls. I'm not gonna spoil the story. So if you are interested, you can check it out. Okay. But anyways, 雪花秘扇 is the movie. Okay. And yes, Hugh Jackman is in this movie, surprisingly. And even more surprisingly, he sings a Chinese song in this movie. Let's see if you can guess or if you can hear what he's singing. Oh, wait, I need my AirPods because I want to hear it too. Right, let's see. So this is just a scene, okay? Just in case YouTube blocked me again. So sorry, my phone is connected to my earphone is connected to my phone, but I should connect it to my laptop, and I should turn off the Bluetooth on my phone. Okay, now I think it's working. Let me see. Can you hear it? Li Bingbing. Okay, that's the next one. Right. How's the volume? 哦，声音太低了。OK， 声音太小了。Right, let me. How? So where should I adjust the volume? That's audio. Let me try this. No. Oh, I'm so bad at technology. You can't hear it? What? It's not. Maybe I should just. Oh, how about now? Sorry. Let's try this. Better? Yeah, okay, so now you can hear it. Good. Okay. So has anyone heard of this song before? It's kind of old. It's actually really old. I think maybe 70, 80 years. And it's a good song, you know. Good. So Zoom 687 on Instagram said that doesn't sound like Chinese. Yeah. I don't disagree. I mean, Hugh Jackman is a great singer, right? We all have seen his like musical movies, right? He's a great singer, but I think he just didn't have time, or he didn't really dedicate that much time to learning these Chinese songs. And I think all the pronunciations, all the syllables he saw were heavily English accented. Okay, so we can try to figure out. Okay, I kind of know the lyrics, but I'm not 100% sure. Right. So the first. Oh. This better? Okay, this is better. Okay. So the first lyric is actually 给我一个吻。给我一个吻，什么意思？给我一个吻。Okay, this is big enough, I think. 给我一个吻 Anyone knows? 什么意思 Yeah, 给我一个 If you have learned Chinese for a while, you should have known. I hope you know what this means. 给我一个吻 Good, 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 good. So Deborah on YouTube said, "Give me a kiss." Give me a kiss. Good, very good. And 给我. This is pretty straightforward, right? And let's do a listening quiz. What is the 拼音? Oh, the 拼音 of it. 给我一个吻. Oh, and we can also type the rest of it. 给我一个吻，可以不可以? I'm trying to imitate him. Okay. 给我一个吻，可以不可以？可以不可以? And it's actually 可以不可以? Okay. So it should be seen like 给我一个吻，可以不可以? Okay, that sounds more like Chinese, right? But what he sings here. Okay, so the first very serious mistake here is that he said he sing 给我一个. Okay, this kiss should be 吻, right? It should be 吻, and that's why we should pay attention to saying 请问, 请问, right? Like, could I ask 请问, which is with the fourth tone. And if you don't pay attention to the tones and you say 请吻 means please kiss, right? So that's not usually what you wanna say. And so 给我一个吻 is give me a kiss. Okay, give me a kiss. But what he's saying is more like, okay, this is some vowel problem. Okay. Okay, so he opened his mouth widely or just lowered his tongue a bit too much for 吻, so it becomes 晚. Okay, 晚. And if you say 给我一个碗, what is 碗? Anyone knows? What is 碗? Okay, like I said last time, the surface of iPad and Apple Pencil together are just too slippery for me to write clear, good-looking Chinese characters and letters, 拼音. But I'm trying, okay? So what his song is, what happened? Is 晚. What? Is 晚. Okay, so if you say 给我一个碗, what does it mean? 给我一个碗 versus 给我一个吻. What is 碗? Yeah, some people type it, right? Yeah, Thomas and also Noof33 on Instagram and AK78952. Give me a ball, right? Give me a ball. Versus give me a kiss. Those are very different, right? Like, are you hungry or you like this one, right? Different. So 给我一个吻, 给我一个吻, 吻 instead of 给我一个碗. So sometimes, not sometimes, always, vowels make a huge difference, okay? And the next line. So 介意不介意? The 可 no. So it should be 可, right? And the vowel is kind of tricky. But what he sound is more like 不介意. So the consonant k should be k, right? It's not that aspirated. You need to keep the airflow back in the back of your mouth. Okay. and plus this vowel ge. And no, actually he said ga, right? So he opened his mouth a bit too much, just like wen, and it became wan. And here 可 it became ga. And those are very different sounds. Okay, let's. Yeah, that's a clear ga, right? But that's a clear ga, but actually it's 可. It should be 可. 可以不可以？可以不可以？ Yeah. All right. So that's not the best first impression to give me, in terms of the Chinese pronunciation. All right, this second line of lyrics actually sounds better. Okay, so he sings. 吻在我的脸上，吻在我的脸上。谁可以猜吗？ Who can guess? What is this sentence? 吻在我的脸上。吻在我的脸上。What is 脸？留个爱标记。留个爱标记。吻在我的脸上。We know 吻 up there, right? We know 吻 is kiss, right? So where's the kiss? This is kiss. 吻在我的脸上，吻在我的脸上 on my face, right? On my face, and usually it means cheeks. It's kiss on my cheeks. Okay, 吻在我的脸上 ，kiss on my cheeks. Okay, 吻在我的脸上 ，good. So 脸 face or cheek. Okay, and 留个爱标记。I assume you all know I. What is I? Love, right? Not lip. Lip is 嘴. Okay, lips 嘴唇 ，mouth 嘴 ，lips 嘴唇。Okay, but 脸 is face. Okay, so kiss on my face, on my cheeks, and leave something. 留 Okay, 留个什么东西 ？Kiss me on my face, right? 留个什么东西？留个爱标记。Anyone knows what is 标记？标记。吻在我的脸上，留个爱标记。I'm not sure if this is the original lyrics. It sounds a little bit weird. 吻在我的脸上 Yeah, that's acceptable. 还可以。六个 So this ga is a little bit this good. Okay, it sounds more like a ga. His mouth was opened a little bit too wide. Ga, but actually, you should close up. He should have closed it up a little bit. 六个 keep it back. 六个爱标记 Okay, and 标记 is mark. Okay, so leave me the mark of love. Romantic, 很浪漫，是不是？留个爱标记 Okay, right, so this is the second line. Okay, so again, this first sentence, Give me a kiss, give me a kiss, can you do it? 给我一个吻，可以不可以? And again, he said, give me a ball instead. Okay, he sings, give me a ball. It's not one, it's one, give me a kiss, not give me a ball, right? 给我一个吻，吻，吻 instead of one, different, okay? And we are not even talking about tones here, okay? It's just vowels and consonants. Yeah, so 加油Okay, so the second line is different. So it's still, can you give me a kiss? 给我一个吻，可以不可以? But this time, it's kiss me somewhere else. Okay? Wait, what is again? Let me listen to it. Okay. 吻在我的心上，吻在我的心上。It's not 心上, it should be 心上。吻 Okay? What is this? 吻在我的心上 instead of 心上. Because song, it sounds like English. Okay? But we know, oh, what is this? But we know, we definitely have learned this character, which is 上, right? And with the fourth tone. Of course, in natural speech, it's usually just with a neutral tone. It's just pretty short. Usually, it's not that important. So 吻在我的心上，吻在我的心上。So where to kiss this time? Kiss on my or in my heart. Exactly. Good. Zoom 687 on Instagram. And Norbert, Han, Philip. Right. 给我 So kiss me in my heart. Kind of like that. 吻在我的心上 And what's the next line? 让我 Okay, this is just me guessing the lyrics. Okay, it can be wrong because that's just what I can figure out from what I hear. Okay, 让我想念你，让我想念你，想念你。Okay. 吻在我的心上 Not 心上 or song or something else. Okay, those are wrong. 心上 上 Raise the tip of your tongue. The front part of your tongue. 上 心上 Okay, and then what? 让我想念你，让我想念你。Make me 想 right? So 想念 is just more formal way to say miss someone. So 想念 okay? Usually we just say 想 I miss you 我想你 okay? So 想念你 because it's lyrical, it's a romantic lyrics song. So yeah 想念 okay? And definitely because Hugh Jackman is from Australia, right? So he's English speaker, which means this XI could be challenging. And let's hear how he did it. Oh, 让我想念你 So that's a very not clear XI, okay? So it's not even an XH, which is usually pronounced by English speakers when you want to say 想 But if you don't lower the tip of the tongue low enough, it became just a sh sound. So it would sound more like a 想 But actually it's 想 响, you can feel the air flow comes out through your bottom teeth. That means the tip of the tongue is low enough. 响 instead of 上 Okay, the tip of the tongue is at different places. Okay, and what he sings, like when you sing a song, I don't know if you have this experience, but when you sing a song, you tend to enunciate some sounds, especially the beginning of the syllables. In Chinese, that means the beginning of a syllable or a character. 让. But here, I think what he sings is more like just an R sound, like a voice 让 instead of 上. And it's supposed to be 响. Okay, so that sound, just hits your ears. What? What? I have no idea. What is that? I mean, it's very quick. Maybe too quick. Almost too quick. And it doesn't make any sense to a native Chinese speaker. I think I can guess the last part, which means like I stare at your eyes. 眼睛. So at least I know the last word should be 眼睛. Okay? Which is, anyone knows? Oh, you can see it, right? It's on my input. 眼睛 eyes. Okay? 瞪着你的眼睛。我的心上让我想念你，从我当着你眼睛。从我当着你眼睛。I think it's 瞪着你 something. Okay? 瞪着你眼睛。But 瞪着 is like angrily stare at someone, or you are shocked, like you open your eyes wide, 瞪着眼睛. But I'm not sure if that's the case for this song. But anyways, it sounds like this. Okay, blah blah blah. Okay, something before and 瞪着你眼睛, stare at your eyes. And 眼睛. So again. This sorry, it's the allergy season. This is the time for me to cough for 2 months from now. It happens every spring. Like it's like a curse to a language teacher, like when new semester starts and you just start coughing a lot. Like I feel very bad for myself, but also for my students. Okay, 眼睛. So it should be 眼睛 first tone, or usually we just say it with a neutral tone. 眼睛 eyes. Okay, but of course he sing it with some sound more like a zh sound. So like I said, he didn't lower the tip of his tongue. And when you raise the tip of the tongue, it just becomes Jane, but it should be 睛 眼睛 Jing. Okay, and when he sings it, when he tries to enunciate, it can get even worse. Okay. 我也应是你肯找，我也应是你吗？我也应是你肯找，我也应是。I think there was a word in the middle of the sentence that is 认识 if I heard it correctly, but I'm not sure. Again, I'm not sure. Too fast. And we can't hear the tones. That doesn't help. and there are some pretty bad problems about consonants and vowels. So it's really hard to recognize what the sounds are. But I think I heard 认识 one last time, okay? And then we can just skip this one. 我也认识你认真 我也认识 right? 我也认识 I also know, I also meet someone. But this is some word you would learn in the first few lessons of your Chinese class, right? So 认识 let's just try to say it correctly, okay? Forget about what he thinks, okay? Just let's say, how do you spell 拼音 of 认识? How do you say this word? 认识我也要向你请求 eyeglasses. Okay. I think Adam bring up a good contrast here. So 眼睛 is eyes, but 眼睛 okay? If it's a fourth tone, see, that's why tones matter, okay? Everyone, tones matter in Chinese, because Chinese is a tonal language. Shocking. 眼睛 eyes, but 眼镜 is glasses, eyeglasses. Okay, so because in songs it doesn't tell you the tones, technically it could be glasses. I stare at your glasses. Yeah, that's funny. Okay, but back to 认识 to know someone, or to meet someone. 认识 okay, 认识 so this 认 can be tricky. Okay, the tongue position of R in Chinese is same as 知吃诗. Okay, so just raise the front part of your tongue, but don't curl it back. Okay, just raise it up and keep it there. Okay, 日诗知吃. Okay, and here the vowel is n. 认 you raise your tongue and then put it down. 认 okay, and 时 for the SHI syllable in Chinese, we don't move our tongue. Okay, just keep it where you start the syllable. 时 认识 认识. Okay, so this is to know someone or to meet someone. All right. Well, this is Hugh Jackman's part. How do we rank him? Wait, where's my tier maker? Well, it disappeared. Are you kidding me? Right, so for anyone who have never seen this ranking website, or it's called Tier Maker, okay? And I made a template for today's live stream, and it takes time for me to find it. Where is my template? So what do you think of Hugh Jackman's Chinese? What do you think? 1 to 10. How would you rate his Chinese? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 多少分？你觉得 Hugh Jackman 的中文多少分？多少分 Norbert said, Rita, 你直接让 Dave 504听一下。Dave 504. He's a super popular YouTuber on YouTube, of course. He's a bass player. But his videos are funny. I used to watch a lot of his videos. Oh, okay, it's here now. He's low on the scale. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. 3 out of 10. Zoom 687. All right. What do you think? So the first one is Hugh Jackman, right? What do you think? Where? Okay, so if you say 7 out of 10, because we have more. Amy Adams, Bradley Cooper, John Cena, and Ross from the Friends, the TV show, and also Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory. Okay, John Cena is actually the last one. So which rank? It's 7. If it's 3, it's gonna be a C, or it's a D. -4, 1 to 2 out of 100. Well, that's brutal. C, anyone? Everyone agrees. It's not D, so it's not like the worst. F. We don't have F here. Okay, so D is like really bad already. A or B? Are you kidding? A or B? No. Hugh Jackman cannot go to A or B. All right, I think it'd be fair, maybe too generous, to put him in C. Cause I think it's just gonna be a D. Although, like I said, he's a great singer. He's a great actor. Okay, this is nothing about his other skills. We are just talking about his speaking Chinese, or Chinese pronunciation. Okay, so for that, I think C is pretty generous. It can now be higher. Yeah. C, C, F. C or B depends on the other, I suppose. Yeah. So this is just only one, and we need to speed up because it's already over 1 hour. Okay. Right. Let's just watch the next one, okay, which is Amy Adams. Okay, so she is one of my favorite American actresses. Okay, I love all the TV shows and movies she played. And this movie, okay, anyone knows this movie? It's called Arrival, and I think it. When was this movie? It's like 2000. It's been a few years. 2016 or 2017, a couple of years ago. I love this movie. Okay, I think it's super fun. It's a sci-fi movie about aliens, but it's quite different from the traditional alien ET movies. It really focuses, because she is a linguistic in the movie, and it really tells how humans figure out how other languages, foreign language, and in this movie it's a alien language, works. And I just find that progress, like or the process, like how she works on figuring out the signs, what they mean, and how they work. I found that fascinating. And like when you think about it, how humans got to start communicating with different languages, there must have been the first people who had to figure out, right? Like what are those people and the language they have never known, how they really work, like how they express themselves in different forms of the language, like in different forms of sounds, and also the written systems. And that's just fascinating. Anyways, right, so I love this movie. Okay, that's my point, I guess. I love this movie. I love Amy Adams. And she says a couple of Chinese lines in this movie. and it's very important. It basically saves human race. And you definitely wanna watch this movie if you are interested in language learning, or or you just wanna enjoy a great sci-fi movie. It's a great movie. It's called Arrival. Okay, so in this movie, Amy Adams says these lines in Chinese.
将军，我在美国英地，将军，您不会给我托梦的。
妻子的遗言，你应凭智用智
他说你应凭智勇气来帮助拯救世界。战争不成就英雄，只会留下光幕。
智用智来。
How is it? This is gonna be hard, cause so basically she's just repeating what the Chinese general told her. It's a kind of complicated story setting, but basically she is just repeating what the general told her in the future. But anyways, so my point is that the words she says is not something that we usually say in day-to-day life, right? And I think it's a quote from some ancient Chinese literature or some Chinese classic books. So it will be hard to figure out like what the exact words are, but let's just try. So first, she called the general. So general in Chinese is 将军. Ooh, why the 将 is like this? I need to change a font. That doesn't sound good. Looks good. That doesn't look good. Let's see. Is there some? No? Let's just try area. What? Like why all the fonts write 江 like this? Well, alright, this iPad is new, okay? So I guess I need to find some Chinese fonts, because this character looks really weird. Usually we write it like this. You can see it, right? 江. Okay, and the 军. So this 军 is usually about military. It means troops, military. Okay, so 军. So 将军 is like the one who leads the troop. So general. Okay, and if you wanna say like troop, 军队, or usually military, 军事. So anything about military, you can say 军事. Okay, or troops, 军队. Okay, so 将军 is the first word she says. Well, we missed it.
将军.
将军. So again, for English speakers, this 机器西 sound, okay, you really need to find your tongue position, where to put the tip of the tongue to pronounce this 将军. Otherwise, it's gonna be 将军, and also this one 将军 or 将军, right? And also after follow the 鸡, this U is actually this one, the U with two dots, so it's U instead of U, okay? Because 知 can be paired with 猪, with the U, and it's 猪, okay? But 鸡 can only be paired with 居 because their tongue positions are the same. Okay. And when we write the pinyin, this is confusing. I know. Yeah, I'm sorry, but this is just what it is. Okay. So 君, when you say 君, the U is actually this sound. 君. Okay. 将军. So I mean that's not surprising. It's just it's just, you know, it can be better. Okay. 将军.
我在美国营地。
Okay, so she says 我在美国营地。我在美国营地。So right, so despite those like GCC sound, actually I think I agree with I agrees with Adam on YouTube. Like she definitely sounds better, you know, compared to Hugh Jackman.
我在美国营地。
我在美国营地。我在美国营地。What is that? 我在美国营地。我在美国营地。Okay, 我在美国营地。Let's hear it again.
我在美国营地。
Right, so we can kind hear the tones now, right? Because when you sing, we don't really hear the tones, right? But when she's really speaking Chinese, she's really saying the words with tones, and that's so much more clearer to Chinese natives to understand. Okay, and I think the tones are pretty at decent.
我在美国营地。
Right, so we can hear a clear 哇 right? Although the vowel can be more rounded, 我 but like she opened the mouth a bit too wide, like 哇 right? But it's actually 我 but that's a pretty clear third tone, 我在 and 在 with the fourth tone is pretty good, 美国
君君，我在美国营地。
so 美国 this fourth tone can be clearer. So it should, it actually should be a second tone, right? But the way she says it's more like a settled fourth tone, 美国 right? But it should be 美国 okay? 国 can be better.
君君，
And I think 营地 is fine.
君君，
Sorry,
您夫人，
again.
君君，
啊
您夫人给。我在美国营地。
美国营地 right? So 营地 is camp, okay? It's like camp field or camp place. So 营 it should be 营地 okay? And the way she says it, it's just a high tone. It just starts with a high tone. So 营地 okay? But when we want to pronounce the second tone, we need to start lower, then make a clearer rising tone. Let the pitch be higher, like 营 okay? Make a clear sound, 营地 okay? And then make a falling tone, okay? That's gonna be better, okay? But I think the vowels and consonants sounds pretty solid.
君君，您夫人给我托梦的。
Okay, 将军 again, 将军 she can lower the tip of her tongue, okay, to make it clearer. And she said, 您的夫人给我托梦了。您的夫人给我托梦了。Oh, this is gonna be hard to explain. 给我托梦了。Anyone knows what is this about? 您的夫人给我托梦了。夫人是什么？
君君，您夫人给我托梦的。
Oh, okay, without the, that's good. Because for family members, we don't usually use the. We just say 您夫人，您夫人。Okay, so 夫人 It's just a more respectful or polite way to call someone's wife. Okay, 年夫人, very formal. So it means wife. Okay, 年夫人给我托梦了. Okay, I think some of you might know this 梦 means dream. Okay, but 托梦, it just means usually someone who have passed away. Okay, 托梦, or someone is far away from the speaker, so it's no way to talk in person. Okay, so sometimes we would, especially people who have passed away. Okay, and when they tell you something in your dream, or usually they tell you something in your dream to ask you to tell someone else, that is what we say 托梦. It's supernatural, superficial, but people believe it, right? Right. So here she's saying 您夫人给我托梦了. So your wife told me something in my dream. Okay. And I think that sentence sounds
在美国印地，君君，您夫人给我托梦了。
您夫人给我托梦了。您夫人给我托梦了。So I think to sound natural, she can change the tone pitch a bit more. So now she just tries to lower the tone position for every single syllable. So that doesn't sound natural. Okay? So Chinese native would say 您夫人给我托梦了. 您夫人给我托梦了. And in this sentence, there are not so many syllables with a super low tone position sounds. So when she says that, we can definitely hear like the foreign accent. Okay? But I think the vowels and consonants, I didn't really hear like super serious problems here. But the reason why it doesn't sound native, it doesn't sound Chinese native. So one is, like I said, it's more about the overall tone position, or we can just say the vocal placement is more in the back, and also the connections is definitely can definitely be improved, because it is like chopped up, like all the syllables are just made one by one, right? 您夫人给我托梦了. 您夫人给我托梦了. Okay, so there's a clear line between the syllables, but that's not how Chinese natives would say, right? I would say it, 您夫人给我托梦了. 您夫人给我托梦了. So we just naturally transition from one syllable to another. Okay, with moving our tongues, teeth, mouths, and also we should connect the tones at the same time. So this is actually something takes a lot of time when you have learned all the basic vowels and consonants. And that's something you would practice in my pronunciation course. Okay, yeah, so you can see on the screen, you can join my 3 months pronunciation bootcamp. And because there are already a lot more people joined than I expected, so I'm gonna just close registration after this live stream. Okay, so if you want to join, you are going to have like daily learning task and daily feedback on the recording that you share in the group. And also I'm going to give weekly live stream to walk you through all the Chinese sounds. So from the tones all the way to the sentence level, some elements in the sentence level that would help you hear the sound a lot more natural. And clearly. So that includes like the speaking rhythm and the intonation, and also the stressed and unstressed syllables in sentences. Because when we talk, we don't talk like this. We don't sound robotic. Because the reason why someone sounds robotic, if you watched my Keanu Reeves Chinese analysis video, okay, we actually change our tones or change the pitch of the tones in Chinese a lot. so you can hear, okay, which words are more important, or they are something I want to let you pay attention to, or I have more emotions in the sentences I say, right? So there are a lot of different aspects of the sounds we make and we hear, and that we can work on. Okay, so if you want to improve your pronunciation in a relatively short time, okay, so 3 months is not so short, but if you want to change your muscle memory, you want to really change the habits that you might have had for years, that takes time. Okay, so 3 months is not that long, okay, but it definitely works. And if that's something you want to improve in your Chinese skills, you definitely want to join my course. Okay, and for now it's free for all the course students, because in the future I'm gonna do this 3 months bootcamp probably every year. So 3 months of the year, so maybe in the summer or maybe like this time in the spring, but it's gonna be a separate product because it needs a lot of work to give feedback, daily feedback, and also to organize the group. So if you want to join, I think this is the last time you can get it for free. Of course, you need to buy the course, but for all the course content, you have lifetime access. So you can review and you can practice and learn on your own pace during and after the bootcamp. Okay, so you have the lifetime access to all the content. But next time when we have another like bootcamp that has a starting date and the ending date and also daily feedback, that's gonna be a different product, and so it's gonna be more expensive, maybe a lot more expensive. Yeah, so if your current learning goal is to improve your Chinese pronunciation, you are very welcome to join. All right, enough ads. So let's back to this 您夫人给我托梦了. So like I said, I think her individual syllables are pretty clear, and with the tones, recognizable tones. So they definitely don't sound bad. But it's just because there's barely a connection between syllables, and that actually changes how natives feel about it. So it just doesn't sound natural at all, because no one says sentence like this, right? And that's the same in Chinese. Okay? But it's just we have tones, so there are more that you want to work on to connect when you want to connect syllables and to say a sentence flow instead of just word by word or syllable by syllable. So intonation and the speaking rhythm and the syllable connections can make a huge difference in your pronunciation. Okay, and those are something you will never find in any textbooks or any Chinese courses for now. I hope more people will talk about it, or more teachers will teach it in the future. But for now, I think those are just something is very under discussed and very under explained in the Chinese teaching world. All right, and let's see what's next.
妻子的音乐，你应凭智用之
他说
来。
你应凭这样戏。
All right, I'm not sure what the sentence is, but at least I hear this syllable is clearly English accented.
他说你应凭这样戏。
凭借勇气，
你应凭智用之
他说
来。
你
明凭智, because the general says it pretty clearly. It's just this one, 智, ZHI, right? But when she says it, it becomes
凭这
jie, right? So it's more like a, it's hard to say what is like. So, because some English speakers would say this I, okay, in ZHI, and also like CHI, SHI, okay, these are one group. Okay, this 智 is not E, okay, it's not E in English. It's not like feet. It's not this E, okay? So when we pronounce this syllable, first of all, we don't change our tongue position. So where you start ch, and keep your tongue there. So this is actually a sound. Okay, so 智, and I heard it's with the fourth tone. Okay, 智. Okay, but usually, if you don't pay attention to the attention, or your teachers don't emphasize the pronunciation, it can be pronounced as G easily. G, right? Or chi, or she. Okay, she. But actually, in those cases, your tongue actually moved. You lowered your tongue. Okay, and that's not how the Chinese sounds should be pronounced. It's the zhi, chi, shi. Okay, don't move your tongue. Okay, so it can be that, or actually it's more like this one, 接. So if your tongue moves even more, so it's not only like G, and if you keep lower your tongue, it would sound like G, right? So that's why I heard this yeah vowel somehow. Okay, yeah, but this is a compound vowel. We need to change our tongue position. Okay, but for this 之 syllable, we don't change. Okay, we don't change. All right.
游戏来帮助拯救世界。战争不拯救英雄，只会留下孤儿寡母。
Okay, I think this part is more natural. No, not more natural. Just I can hear it more clearly. Because before it's kind of from a distance, and it's fast, and it was not that clear.
战争不拯救英雄。
Right. So here it's about 战争. Because it's about if the human race will have a war before the aliens come. If I don't remember wrong, okay, but at least the line she says is about 战争. 不成就英雄，只会留下孤儿寡母。I think that's what I heard. 留下孤儿寡母。Anyone can comprehend? Anyone can understand what this sentence means? Norbert says 之 and 英文的 DJ 之发音一样吧？还是有点不一样。就是英文那个 D plus J is a voiced, right? So you vibrate your vocal cords, zh, right? But the ZH in Chinese is actually voiceless. So 战, so like the first word, 战争. How do you spell 战争? It means war, okay? 战争 okay? 不成就英雄
应凭智勇之
他求
来，
你凭借勇气来帮助拯救世界。战争不成就英雄。
战争不成就英雄。This first tone can keep it high and flat a little bit. Keep it constant a little bit. Okay, that's gonna be a clearer first tone. 英雄 And again, this should be the XI. 熊 okay? But the way she says it's more like somewhere in the middle of between sh and xiong, okay? But just try to lower the tip of tongue. 雄 英雄, okay? So 不成就英雄. So war doesn't make 成就. So 成就 is usually used as the noun achievement, okay? But it can also be used as a verb in super formal like articles or written language. You can say 成就 something means to make, to accomplish something. Okay, so here it means war doesn't make. What is 英雄? Don't be the hero of this situation. Good. So Norbert on YouTube said, don't be hero. So it's actually don't make heroes. That's very close, okay? So don't make heroes. Wars don't make heroes. 战争不 also 不 is with the fourth tone, okay? 不成就英雄。战争不成就英雄。
智慧留下，孤儿寡母。
刮目 so 知会留下。孤儿寡母 so only these two tones are kind of off, okay? And the rest of it, like I said, the syllables sound pretty decent, okay? It's just that they are all chopped, slipped apart. So it just sounds so unnatural, because natives won't say it like that. There's always links or connections between syllables, and that if I were her Chinese accent coach, that's definitely something I'm gonna help her. I would help her with work on. Okay, so this should be 指会留下, and this vowel can be tricky. Okay, 留 is actually ends with the o sound. 留下. And 孤儿寡母 is kind of like a 成语 idiom. Okay, so 孤儿没有爸爸没有妈妈 is orphan. Okay, 孤儿 and then 寡母. So if there are two syllables together, we know we change the first one, right? And 寡 is like widow. So widow mother. Okay. So war don't make heroes. It just leaves out or leaves orphans and widows, basically. Okay. 孤儿寡母. So of course she's trying to persuade the general, don't start a war. Okay, don't start a war, right? Let's work together. Okay, and that's actually meaningful in our current world, right? Anyways, I think time to rank. Okay, so I think you all agree that Amy Adams' Chinese is better than Hugh Jackman's, right? In every aspect, I would say, right? But which level? Which level do you think? 英雄 It doesn't flow exactly. Miller Sanjita on YouTube says. Right, so Amy Adams' Chinese doesn't flow. I think that's the biggest problem. I think the tones and vowels are kind of easy to adjust, but yeah. B, okay. Alright, so seems our audience on YouTube agreed that Amy Adams can go in B. Right. It's just more about the sentence flow, right? The speaking rhythm and also the intonation to make it more natural. That's definitely a lot of work to work on. And so I think she's a good example for us to see when you learn the tones, the individual tones, vowels, and consonants to be able to just say like pretty clear syllables, individual syllables with correct vowel, consonants, and tones. It's just step one. Okay, step one. That's only to pronounce a syllable or a word. But when we try to speak a sentence, that's a completely different level of pronunciation and of speaking. Okay, so that's something that you definitely need time to get used to and also to really get a hang of it. Right, so I think, yeah, I think it's fair to just put her in B because it's better. It's obviously better than Hugh Jackman's pronunciation, right? And if it's necessary, we can also consider to drag him down level. Okay, but we'll see. Okay, we can just keep them here, and we really need to speed up. Right, let's see Ross. This is pretty short. It's just a short clip.
再见，我的房间有床子。
Alrighty.
你小心嘛。
Those are very weird sentence combinations. I don't know why those sentences are taught together, and I'm really curious what that's cassette tapes, right? I think that's a lot of Chinese natives who learned English when they were younger. I think, yeah, when I was in middle school, I still listen to my Walkman. Like we listen to music with my Walkman, Sony Walkman, and this looks even older. And that's how people used to learn a new language, Yeah, it's just hard to imagine. Right, so just three weird, except the first one. 再见 is pretty useful, right? But the second and third sentences are weird.
再见。
Right, 再见.
刮目。
再见。
So again, English speakers, please pay attention to your JQX sound, okay? Especially for expressions like this one. 再见 or 见 lower the tip of the tongue, okay? And also the tone is kind of off. So he said 再见. What? 再. Okay, this is what he says. Okay, 再见. There's a subtle E in the middle. 见. Okay, but actually it should be 在 and 见. Okay, 见 lower the tip of the tongue. 再见. Okay, and when two fourth tone together, the first one can be pronounced as just a high flat tone easily. Okay, because that's easier for humans to pronounce 再见. Okay, but there are these tone combinations of two fourth tones. Okay, humans' brain doesn't like it, but there are these words are with two fourth tones in a row. Okay, so 再见. You make a fall tone contour and then back to your high tone and then make another falling tone. Okay, 再见.
我的房间有窗子。
Okay, 我的房间有窗子. I think what he says is different from the subtitle. Because the subtitle said bed bugs, like 床虱, and there's the pinyin too, 床虱. So that is bed bugs. But I think what he says is 虫子, which is the word that we use the most to say bugs, worms, any insects basically. So it's called 虫子. And we can hear a clear neutral tone, right? It's super short at the end. 虫子. So I think this is the word he really says.
我的房间有虫子。
我的房间有虫子。我的房间有虫子. I think tones are pretty good. Okay? Maybe because he speaks pretty fast, but I can still hear there are tone change in the sentence. So that actually sounds pretty good.
我的房间有虫子。
Especially except for the 间, so it's similar. 房间, right? It should be 间, but it's more like a 间 again. But besides that, I think the rest of the sentence sounds
我的房间有虫子。
有虫子, 有虫子. Maybe this one is a little bit overemphasized because it's not necessary to really 有虫子. So because it's obviously slower, it's slowed down. I think that's a bit too much, but it's not a big problem.
Alrighty.
你小什么？
That's very weird, okay? And that sentence is wrong actually. Like, because 消失 is disappear, okay? It is disappear. But if you want to ask, you disappeared, like did you disappear? I cannot imagine in what scenario you will need to say that sentence. But anyways, if you want to ask 你消失, you disappeared, at least we need a 了 here, the particle 了, right? 你消失了吗? 你消失了吗? Right? 你消失了吗? Instead of just 你消失吗? Because if you ask 你消失吗, it's more like to ask, are you gonna disappear? Are you gonna disappear? Okay, 你消失吗? And it also sounds super weird. Okay, at least you can ask 你消失了吗? But if they already disappeared, like who are you gonna ask this question to, right? So I think anyways it's a weird sentence. Okay, and again, 消 is more like an sh. Okay, but it should be xi. 消 你消失了吗? And I think also the tone is off.
Alrighty.
你小什么？
你消失吗? 消失吗? So this is the sentence intonation that I talk more in the Keanu Reeves Chinese analysis video on my YouTube channel. Okay, I just it's out last week. Okay, 上个星期发的视频。你消失吗? So when it's a question, English speakers or maybe a lot of Latin American Romance language speakers, okay, would tend to just raise the tone, but you tend to raise the tone or the pitch of the whole sentence. 你消失吗? You disappeared. You disappeared. Okay. But when you raise the tone in Chinese, it can change the meaning or change the syllable, the whole syllable, right? So 消 is with the first tone. So when we say it, it's always with the first tone. 消, and you can now change it to a second tone, because that's going to be another character with another meaning, right? So 消, 你消失了吗? 你消失了吗? We can emphasize it, but we just expand our vocal range. So if it's a high tone, we just make it higher. So 你消失了吗? 你消失了吗? That's how we emphasize it. Okay. So the tone here is kind of off. Okay. Right. I think. Yeah, that's the only 3 sentences he says. What do you think? So it's a scripted lines in the TV show, and he definitely spent time to work on those. And they are fairly short. But anyways, what do you think? What do you think? How would you compare his Chinese to Amy Adams? Is it at the same level? I think he's doing better on the connection part. Right? But what do you think? Is it better? Or is it... Who's better? Or it's pretty much the same? What do you think? Maybe he was trying to say 我房间有床子 but 床子 is not the right word. Esther on YouTube. 一样 C. Maybe he's trying to sound silly. Matt said maybe he's trying to sound silly for comedic effect. Yeah. I think that's definitely part of it. C. Okay. So you think he's not as good as Amy Adams, right? I mean, fair. Too robotic. Yeah. He's literally just saying after the tape. I like Amy's robotic Chinese better. So they both are robotic, but different kinds of robots. Chinese speaking robots. That's funny. I like it. Alright. Yeah, I guess we can leave it there and see if we need to move Hugh Jackman down later. Alright. Let's just see next one, which is... This is also a famous clip, right? I think a lot of YouTubers use this clip before. I think I used it in my previous videos too.
打得面啊，兩個主要兵青中下輪子啊，千萬不要給我違禁啊。
I have so much to say, but also I don't know where to start, or I don't know what to say. Let's listen to it again.
打得面啊，兩個主要兵青中下輪子啊，千萬不要給我違禁啊。
It's like he is speaking Chinese, but also he's not speaking Chinese. He's speaking English, because all the sentence intonations are still in English. Okay, so it sounds like fluent English, but with Chinese sounds, with Chinese syllables, not tones. Okay, not with Chinese tones, but Chinese vowels and consonants. And you know, he's so confident. So yeah, I don't know how many people would think he's speaking like super fluent Chinese here. But I guess that's just the feeling that he wants to show us, right? But to Chinese natives, yeah, there's no tones. Cause like I said, if you just say the sentence in this, actually happens a lot. Happens a lot to advanced Chinese students. Like when I taught in colleges, I'm still teaching at a graduate school, but when 1 year ago, I taught 2 levels. So level 3, so students should have learned Chinese for at least 2 years, and they started to learn in their 3rd year. But actually, a lot of the students in that class started learning Chinese in their high school, middle school, or even kindergarten, but they didn't work on their pronunciation, especially tones, that much back then. So when they are excited, especially when they are excited, or they want to express their thoughts so much, usually the tones are just off. Like all the tones are just messed up. Because like I said, when you try to pronounce the tones and the syllables clearly on the sentence level, that needs a different level, a different kind of exercise. And that's usually ignored in manual learners' learning process. And that's why when you say the word, when you say a character, you can pronounce that like perfectly. But when you start saying sentences, usually the tones are off. Tones are the first ones to be off, and then just some vowels and consonants can be off easily too. But when we talk to people, when we communicate with Chinese natives, we say sentences, right? So we definitely want to put time to work on sentences, to work on how to speak more clear and maybe native Chinese sentences, right? And I think Bradley Cooper's Chinese lines here is the like 100% opposite example of when you just wanna try to be fluent, try to speak fast, but without any accurate tones and vowels. It just you are just making sounds, okay? But it doesn't make any sense to Chinese natives. Okay, no one can understand you. And the waiter here just magically understand what he is ordering. But that's just a movie, right?
两个猪油饼，青葱小龙虾，千万不要给我违禁啊！
千万不要给我违禁呀。Okay, so let's just try this one sentence. Okay, we don't need to spend too much time here. So 千 of course he said 千 not 千千万不要 what is the line? 千万不要给我违禁啊！
龙虾，千万不要给我违禁啊！
啊，千万别忘。
龙虾，千万不要给我违禁啊！
喂 he said 千万不要给我违禁，千万不要给我违禁啊！ So I thought he is like reminding the waiter, don't forget to give me napkins. Okay, and napkins is actually 餐巾 because it's about food, about having food, right? 餐巾 or 餐巾纸 napkins. Okay, but what he says here, 围巾 is actually scarf. Yeah. So don't forget to give me a scarf when I want to have dinner here. I don't know who wrote that Chinese line. But anyways, so 围巾 is actually scarf. So that's definitely weird. Okay. And also 千万 is when you want to remind, when you want to give someone like a warning, like don't do anything, don't ever do anything. Okay, just 千万 okay, and the Q sound is off here. Okay, 千 but it actually should be 千万不要 so don't do something, "给我围巾 so basically he says don't ever give me a scarf for some reason. Yeah,
围巾会保护你的衣服。
right. So I don't know if it's stabbing or just this actor actually speaks Chinese, but his line's pronunciation sounds pretty good. And what he says is that
给我违禁啊！
围巾会保护你的衣服。
okay, so 围巾会保护你的衣服. So I guess he's not native, or he doesn't really speak Chinese, because he uses 围巾兔. So what he says is that scarf will protect your clothes. A scarf will protect your clothes. 围巾会保护你的衣服。围巾会保护你的衣服。And that's weird. Okay, so anyways.
所以把我当张做啊。把我当张做啊。
Wait, is that the complete sentence?
家，千万不要给我围巾啊！
围巾会保护你的衣服。
可所以把我当张做啊。
I couldn't hear the first part. 会保护我的肮脏左。And that's a severe problem. Mistake for 手 okay, hands 手 right? So 保护我的肮脏 I think he is supposed to say 手 because he raised his hands, right? Obviously. But this is about two confusing vowels. Okay, 保护 protect, sorry, 保护我的肮脏 and 肮脏 is weird because 肮脏 it means dirty, but it's too formal here. Okay, usually if we say something is dirty, we just say 脏. Okay, we just need this one, 脏. Okay, and the 手 hands is SHOU. Okay, 手 肮脏手 or 脏手. Okay, we don't need this. But what he says is 左. It's very, very wrong. Okay, so the vowel is different. This is 左 我 but 手 is just O sound 手. Okay, so that doesn't make sense. Okay, and 左 is usually used to represent left 左. Okay, my dirty left? No. And the waiter smiled, and he smiled, and everyone is happy. I'm not so happy. That's not Chinese. Okay, that's definitely not Chinese. So I guess this is easy, right? When we want to rank, where? I think it can only go here or here, right? Do you think it's acceptable? D plus. Yeah, we don't have somewhere below. Yeah, 服务员就是个天才. Yeah, the 服务员 is a genius. The waiter is a genius. Like he understood and smiled and left. Like it's so cringe. Oh my god. Yeah, next one is Sheldon. Yeah, but what do you think? Can we just leave him here at D? It's the first or second worst, right? So I guess, yeah, we can leave it D or Z. Z is under my desk. Yeah, so I guess in this table, yeah, D is fair. Okay, D is fair. Like you definitely wanna try to get a hang of the tones and the vowels and the consonants, at least pronounce the individual syllable clearly. Okay, so although you might just speak slowly, but at least the natives can understand, can figure out. Okay, if you just say it like that fast with all the wrong tones and syllables, like no one can ever understand what you are saying. Okay, you just sound super fluent in English, okay, because it also sounds like English intonation, but just with some weird sounds which are not Chinese either. Okay, D for 对不起. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, this is short. Okay, and next one is Sheldon. Anyone watched The Big Bang Theory before? it's a pretty old show, okay? But I think it's the first or the second American TV shows that I really followed when I was young, when I was in college, I think. Yeah, I think the first American show that I really followed. Okay, I watched some shows before, but the one that I really waited till its update is Breaking Bad. No, Breaking Bad. Prison Break. Yeah, Prison Break was the first show, and I think it's also the first show that was like really popular among Chinese young people, like Chinese college students. I think that's when, I don't know, for some reason, Chinese students started to watch American shows. But before Friends, it's definitely a classic one. And I know like so many Chinese natives use Friends to learn English. But it was kind of old. It's like there are different generations, right? And the Big Bang Theory was the second one that just was so popular among Chinese young people. I think that's kind of surprising to Americans, right? Because some people find this show, kind of awkward and cringe. But yeah, like a lot of Chinese people love it. So anyways, so Sheldon, as we all know, Sheldon speaks quite a bit Chinese in this show. And how is it? Let's see. That's a word, or that's a phrase that doesn't make any sense, and especially as a greeting to strangers that you have never talked to them. I don't know why he starts with that sentence. I guess this is more about to just make it funny and comedic, because it doesn't mean anything. 长寿社会, and also he used the English intonation instead of really tones. Okay, so the first one, he says 长寿, right? 长寿. 长寿 is longevity. Okay, so like when Chinese people celebrate birthday, we would eat longevity noodles, right? 长寿面. To live longer, so longevity noodles. 长寿面. Okay, and 长寿 is like the noun, or actually adjectives too. So we can say 他很长寿，他是一个长寿的老人，他很长寿，可以。Okay, but here 长寿 concrete, like I 石灰 concrete, and that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. And of course, they both are confused.
谢谢.
谢谢, right? And the tones are off, right? And I don't know. I don't need to say this again. Okay? So 谢谢, the X sound, it should be 谢, but here he says 谢. Okay? And also with a second tone, like 谢谢. Very American, okay, very English, okay, 谢谢. It should be 谢谢. Okay, the fourth tone is a fourth tone, okay, it never changes in Chinese. And that's another weird sound. I think they did it on purpose. Yeah, for sure. Like I understand it, okay. But again, 猴子, I can hear that monkey, right? 猴子谁在? So sleep. We all learn sleep, right? How do you spell the pinyin for sleep? 丢人. It's very awkward and embarrassing actually. 睡 it should be 睡 but he said something like 随 so the sh becomes s and the tones is different. 随在里面
谁谁？我只睡在里头。
嘴在 so something like s or z 随在里头 and if he is saying in, okay, so in spoken language we can say 里头 which means 里边 or 里面, okay, we can say 里头 but 里 should be with the third tone, okay, not little, not little or little, no, it's 里头 it's just, the sentence is just weird.
BT 在哪儿 ？BT。
And I don't know what the joke is. What the joke is? It is here. I just don't understand. Like BD, like Marcus. Yeah, I don't really know what he's trying to say here.
请干见 BT 后，快走快走。
Oh, James Hong. So James Hong is another star that analyzed his Chinese in my last YouTube video. You can check it out. Okay, so his Chinese is more influenced by Cantonese and Hokkien, if I don't remember it wrong, and English also. So he doesn't really speak Mandarin. But here, I think there's one thing that we can learn is 擤鼻涕. This is a weird character, right? So the verb, when you have mucus, when you have a runny nose, when you do this, okay, we can say 擤. And he actually says this word here, 擤鼻涕. So that's actually kind of impressive.
请干见 BT 后，快走快走。
快走. Yeah, I think the accent is more like 快走. It's more like Cantonese or like Hakka, like some southern accent. And the speaking rhythm, because the speaking rhythm is like chopping vegetables. So the Cantonese speaking rhythm is different from Mandarin. Especially it's very different from Beijing Mandarin. Yeah, but I think that's obvious here.
这不是六顶教的这。
这不是六顶教的这. So you can do 这不是六顶教的这, right? Like that's more like English, like bicycle 教的这, right? And of course in Mandarin, in mainland Mandarin, we will say 自行车 instead of 脚踏车. Okay, and then tangerine is 橙子, okay, in mainland China, 橙子 instead of 柳丁. And again, the sentence flow, the sentence intonation is totally English.
快走！这不是六顶教的这。
这不是六顶教的这, right? So at least we want to know 不是, 这不是, okay? 柳丁脚踏车, and let's try to keep the original tones.
Crazy man, call the police. Wo bin ich图书馆 ？BT 在哪儿？慢药在我床上，很多慢药。
So 牛, it should be. I mean, too many things are going on. So like 牛, okay, and I think what he says is more like 油. At least we can learn this one, okay? Ox, 牛. And again, sentences don't make sense.
哎呀
I think this is probably the best line. 哎呀, like when you are pissed or when you feel powerless to do something, like 哎呀, like something, like oh, it's a shame, things like that. Scofield 丢人，水饺睡觉，睡在里面，谁在里面 ？Yeah, we need tones for 睡觉 right? So 睡 is to sleep. And if you say it with the third tone, is water. 水 Okay. Okay. Anyways, last sentence of Sheldon.
Show me your citrus peels. 给我干你用的铅笔。
That's very weird too. 给我看 show me. But 给我看 each of the syllables should have their own tones. 给我看你的陈皮 right? Your orange peel. Is it funny? What do you think? Do you find it funny? So it should be both of these are with the first one, with the third tone, right? So we change the first one. 给我看你的陈皮，给我看你的陈皮 Okay, and we can only hear the English intonation.
铅笔。Your citrus peels. 给我干你用的铅笔。
给我看 Okay, 给我看你用的陈皮 right? 陈皮 Okay, so tones are all off.
Show me your citrus peels. 给我干你用的铅笔。
And the gay is also its voice. 给我看 Okay, both the consonants are overly emphasized, overly voiced.
Show me.
Sheldon?
哎呀，吓死我了！
This is probably the best one. Okay, 吓死我了，吓死我了. So first, it is fast. Okay, it is spoken pretty fast, but also the syllables are well or better connected. 吓死我了. Okay, and I hear a more clearer accent here. 吓死我了，吓死我了，吓死我了. And also maybe the Chinese sentences, the Chinese intonation is more in line with the English one. So 吓死我了，我了. And the end of the sentence is with the neutral tone. 吓死我了，我了. Okay, it's kind of high because it's more like exclamatory sentence with more emotion here. Like you're surprised. 吓死我了. We can raise the pitch a little bit here. Okay, so the whole sentence 吓死我了，吓死我了，吓死我了，吓死我了. Okay, so we can see the tone. How to say, the tendency is like this. Okay, 吓死我了. So maybe that's why like all the tones sound pretty solid, and you didn't, there's nothing like that weird that hits your ears. So that's probably the best line of Sheldon. Okay, so let's do it. What do you think? Overall, okay, so the last sentence was definitely pretty on point. But when we think about his overall speaking, I think, I don't know where. What do you think? Scared to death. 吓死我了. Yeah, that's the meaning of the sentence. It's D2, right? So the tones sound off, and the sentences are weird, weird words, even weird sentence. The grammar is fine, I guess, but when the sentence don't make any sense, grammar doesn't mean so much either. D, C actually. Okay. So D or C. So now is 2 versus 2. D plus. Okay. So it means slightly better than Bradley Cooper's Chinese, right? Because he at least nailed 1.5 sentences there. 比 Hugh 好多了，比 Hugh Jackman 好多了。Really? Because we don't really know how Hugh Jackman sounds. So how do we do this? So should we move Hugh Jackman down and put Sheldon there? Maybe? Because he just definitely speaks more. But there are also a lot of things off in the sentence. What do you think? Anyone on Instagram? C for 错 C, okay? So it seems there are more people for C. Alright, then D and put Bradley out of the score table. Okay, you are out. You are at A, B, C, D, E or F. Okay. Sorry, Bradley Cooper. Yeah. Well, anyways, all right. We can keep him here. Okay. So after Hugh Jackman. Okay. After Hugh Jackman. All right, and we just have one left, and we don't have an A or S. So far, we don't have an A or S yet. And but a lot of you have definitely watched this clip of John Cena, right? It just, for some reason, it went viral on TikTok first, right? Famous for its brain washing. I don't know, something is brainwashing. It just sticks in your mind. And it's actually a promotion for the movie, right? Fast and Furious 9. And just in case any of you have never watched it before, let's watch it first.
早上好，中国！现在我有冰淇淋，我很喜欢冰淇淋，但是速度与激情就比冰淇淋速度与激情就我最喜欢。所以现在是音乐时间，准备1、2、3，2个礼拜以后，速度与激情就2个礼拜以后，速度与激情就2个礼拜以后，速度与激情就不要忘记，不要错过去电影院看《速度与激情》就，因为非常好电影。动作非常好，差不多一样。冰淇淋，再见。
Yeah, that's a lot actually. Okay, that's a lot. And obviously, I think he's the only one who really speaks the language, like who really be able to use the language to express pretty simple meanings. Okay, but he can survive in China, right? Like he's just really using it, right? He's not like reading. Maybe someone prepared a script for him, but now he's more like really saying things instead of reciting scripts. So for that, I think there are some bonus points for him. But still, like when he's super excited, especially he wants to promote the movie, right? So he just want to sound like excited and cheerful, and the tones just go off. I made a video analyzing his and Mark Zuckerberg's Chinese like 2 years ago, I think, at this point. So I would say he's Chinese, or a lot of my Chinese native friends would think his Chinese is better than the you might have watched the Mark Zuckerberg Chinese speaking video, but still his intonation is more like English. Like he didn't put so much time on the tones. But I think the good thing is that his vowels and consonants are fairly, better. So it can make sense to natives if the Chinese natives are patient enough to figure out what he's saying. Yeah.
现在我有冰淇淋。
现在我有 I think some of the words are with tones, like 现在我有冰淇淋 right? So 冰 this 冰淇淋 it's just like a meme now, right? So what is the original tone of ice cream? What is the original tone? 冰 is with the first tone, so he got that. Okay, 冰 and actually 七 or 齐 okay, either one. 冰淇淋 okay, or 冰淇淋 both can work. Okay, but he said 冰淇淋 so this 令 just changed the whole feeling when Chinese natives hear it, like 冰淇淋 okay, but it should be 冰淇淋 so that sounds very different actually to natives. Okay, 冰淇淋 and 冰淇淋 is definitely an English intonation or English tones. Ice cream, right? 冰淇淋 but it should be 冰淇淋 but that's just so catchy.
我很喜欢冰淇淋。
我很喜欢冰淇淋。我很喜欢冰淇淋。我很喜欢冰淇淋。我很喜欢冰淇淋。我很喜欢冰淇淋。And also, of course, this Q sound, right?
但是速度与激情就
但是 is pretty good. 但是
比冰淇淋速度与激情就我最喜欢。
All right, so我最喜欢 I like it best or I like it most, right? But 最 should be the first one. 我最喜欢 If you want to emphasize a word, keep the original tone. Okay, 我最喜欢 But before he doesn't finish the sentence. 冰淇淋 I'm ruined. 冰淇淋 okay, 冰淇淋比 So here we need the comparison sentence. So A 比 B what? Okay, A 比 B and then is the adjective usually. Okay. But he doesn't finish that sentence, right? 但是
速度与激情就比冰淇淋速度与激
and period, right? So there's nothing following. So he is just saying that the movie then ice cream and what? Like, is it better? Is it tastier? Is it what? So we at least need one adjective here. Okay, and I think he just needs more work on grammar. Okay.
速度与激情就我最喜欢。
Okay, 我最喜欢 like I said, we keep the original tones. 我最喜欢
所以现在
So it's back to the English intonation. 所以 like so, now 现在 now, so now
音乐时间
it's music time. 音乐时间 music time. But it should be 音乐时间 Okay, very different.
准备1、2、3，两个礼拜以后，速度与激情就两个礼拜以后，速度与激情就两个礼拜以后，速度与激情就不要忘记，不要错过去电影院看速度与激情就 因为非常好电影。
Okay, at least. So since he started singing, okay, so like I said, melody trumps tones. Okay, so we just cannot talk about how the tones are here, and some slight mistakes about the vowels and consonants. But this sentence, 因为非常好电影, I think this is pretty common for English speakers when you say something is good. Because in English you tend to use a noun phrase to say, oh, it's a good movie, right? It's a good movie. But in Chinese we tend to use the adjective predicate, so which means like we tend to say something is blah blah blah. So we will say 电影非常好，因为这部电影非常好 instead of 非常好电影。 Okay. And at least you want to say 因为这是一部非常好的电影。 Okay, 这是一部非常好的电影。 This is a very good movie. Okay. Or I think Chinese natives would actually tend to say 这部电影非常好，这部电影非常好。 So it's more about different habits when we want to describe something. Okay.
动作非常好。
Action is good.
差不多一样，冰淇淋才。
Okay, so again, he needs some work on the comparison sentences. Okay, so if you say A is pretty much as B, okay, it's not B, because B is like A is more blah 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 than B, right? But if you say A is same as B, A is different from B, or A is pretty much the same as B, we use 跟. Okay, so A 跟 B 差不多，差不多 más o menos, right? 差不多，差不多。A 跟 B 差不多，and 差不多一样，you know, it doesn't make sense here. 动作非常好。
非常好，差不多一样，冰淇淋才对。
It's just funny, okay? It's just funny. But actually, I want to show you another clip here, okay? Where I think it really shows that John Cena actually speaks some Chinese. That actually he can communicate with Chinese natives. So this was filmed in China, somewhere in China. And I think he was filming a video or, you know, just working in China back then. And he was filming a vlog to show his life in China.
The city is alive, and the city has street food.
Yeah, and in this video, he's getting some street food by using some Chinese. So I think this is a pretty interesting clip.
And when you walk into the street of Incheon, especially the street, it smells of wonderful spice, tasty foods, but I have no idea what these foods are. So basically we're just gonna walk up to a cart and order some. And I've seen some like cool skewers on some of these carts, and this is the one I kind of have my eye on, and the smell is absolutely fantastic. So let's see what we can do.
Okay, so yeah, so we can see like one of the most common street food in China is like skewers, like all kinds of skewers. It can be seafood, and in the northern China it's more about lamb, and also like lamb, beef, pork, fish, anything, and also different parts of animals, and vegetables, of course. So different skewers in Chinese is 串儿. If you have ever been to China, it's impossible for you to miss out on this. Okay, 串儿. Okay, in the north, it's 串儿. Okay, we add a sound, or just 串. Okay, so here he is getting some 串儿, some skewers, near the place he stayed. And the owner said hello. Oh, good, right? So he's using Chinese. He's really talking to people with Chinese. Okay, so what he says is 请给我三个串吧，好像是。
请给我3个。
Okay, 请给我3个 Okay, so I mean it works. When Chinese natives hear it, they definitely understand. So 请给我3个 like 3. That's with the English tones, right? But it should be 三个 You don't raise the tone. Okay, it's not a second tone. 请给我3个 and it can work. Okay, it can let the listeners understand what you mean. But if a Chinese natives want the business owner to give him 3 skewer of these, we don't really use this 请. Actually, I discussed this when you use English, you say do something please, like could you do something please, right? But actually in Chinese we don't use 请, this literal word for please 请 that much in real life because it just sounds too formal. 请. Okay, so usually we just say 麻烦. Okay, to bother. 麻烦. So 麻烦你做什么 blah blah blah. So in that case 麻烦你给我3个. That sounds a lot more authentic and natural. Okay, but I can understand, like when you first start learning Chinese, you just tend to translate it word by word, and a lot of Mandarin learners would overuse this 请 in sentences. Okay, but usually we just say 麻烦你给我3个. But obviously the owner understood it.
3个。
OK, 这个3个，
这个鱼是称的。
I think he didn't understand here, because that's something it's not that basic. So these are weight. So it's not sold by quantity, right? You need to weigh it, and then they tell you what the price is. And obviously John Cena didn't understand it. 这是称的这是称的 But she just went ahead and grabbed some. Oh, and he said, like, that's pretty clear. 好的 okay. 好的 okay, all right. So that's good. 好的 Oh, okay, that's another good one. 够了 Okay, that's pretty 地道 that's pretty authentic, and that's very easy and useful, right? 够了 enough. Okay, that's good. Okay, in English you may just say that's good. Okay, no more. What? Oh, yeah, and then he got some like bubble tea and just had a tour on the street. So it's a pretty fun vlog style video to watch. But at least here we can see that he really used the Chinese when he was living in China, and I think that makes him feel more comfortable when speaking Chinese in videos. And it's just more functional, like instead of reciting some movie lines, it was some more natural. But of course there are so many things in his speaking Chinese that can be improved. But I think if we consider that vlog video too, where should we put his Chinese? Like we're just comparing them 6 here, okay? Of course there are someone who speak a lot better Chinese. That's for sure. But if we just compare them 6, can John Cena be an A? What do you think? What do you think? The 喜欢 sounds weird to me. Everything else sounds pretty good. 喜欢，它比别的好。Like he says, being chilling. Right. So that's the Q sound here. That's what I have talked so many times, even today. Right. It's more like being chilling, but it should be 冰淇淋，冰淇淋。他真的懂怎么做 marketing， 他知道怎么做营销，营销 ，Yeah, I agree. Yeah. 你直接说老板、服务员来3个 ，Yeah, 来3个 ，Yeah, that's pretty good. 来 something means can I have something? Okay. That's the easiest one to order. Easiest sentence to order. You just say 来 and then something. What do you want to order? B or okay, grammar and vocabulary now okay. So BB A, 因为他至少是会讲的。Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like obviously he really speaks Chinese, kind of, right? In comparison to others. Others is, just reciting scripted sentences. So I think for that, okay, to be fair, for that, I want to put him in A. Although, like I said, there are so many things that in his Chinese that can be improved, okay? But at least he really learned the language and he really used the language to communicate with Chinese natives. And obviously it worked. So I think just for that, okay, I'll put him in A. Although if me being a professional Chinese teacher to assess his Chinese ability, it's a long way to go. Okay, it's still a beginner level. Okay, but now if we compare all these Hollywood stars, among them, I think I can give him an A. Just to show that his Chinese is better than Amy Adams. Lines in the movie. Okay, is that okay? Against him and Chinese as a language, a B. He seems like he can think in the language a bit. He's speaking Mandarin with clear voice. Kind of. It can be improved. Okay, it can be improved. If he joined my course, I think he'll learn a lot because there are some basic vowels and consonants and tones that he can work on. Yeah, but just for more about the attitude of learning a language and be brave enough to use it with the natives, I think that's something that we should encourage people to do. Yeah. All right. So I guess this is it. This takes so much longer than I thought, and I started a bit late, like I said, because there was an urgent call with the actress that I trained in 2018 and 19. But anyways, I hope you guys learned something from today's marathon stream. Like literally, this is like the time that someone can run a marathon, right? Yeah, I hope you learned something from this stream and you. 这是我第一次来你的 YouTube channel, Axel. Okay, welcome, Axel. I'll do more. Okay, I'll do more. And also, I think this is the first time I wear my frame glasses on YouTube channel. I think my students in my course are pretty familiar with me wearing frame glasses But just I've been working a lot recently, like crazy. I didn't sleep that much, so my left eye kind of hurts today. So that's why I didn't wear contacts, which is I usually do, especially in my YouTube videos and Instagram videos. But anyways, thank you all for coming and watching this long live stream with me and chatting with me and sharing your insights and your opinions. And I think this is fun. Just next time we should do it shorter. Okay. And also, yeah, like I said, my 3 months Chinese pronunciation bootcamp is gonna close registration soon, like in half an hour, let's say half an hour. Okay, when our stream ends, I'm just gonna close the registration, because now there are already 60 plus students, and we only have me and another professional Chinese accent coach, speech coach, to give feedback every day, like Monday through Saturday. Like we give daily feedback on students' recording, and we'll give you like daily learning task. So it's very clear. Like you just practice this today, okay, and next day, different content. And so you don't need to think about you don't need to think of a learning plan, or which I should start first, and what's the learning pace. You don't need to think about anything. Okay, you just follow my plan, follow the content that I give you, and you are guaranteed that if you can stick to the bootcamp in 3 months, your Chinese pronunciation will improve a lot, no matter what your current level is. Because for pronunciation, it's pretty much same for anyone. Like some people who may have learned Chinese for 5 years, 10 years, and in my course there are students who learned Chinese 20 years ago, or in the 1980s even, 1980s, but they still find that they need to improve their pronunciation. And when we want to hone our pronunciation, when we want to form mouth muscle memories, we always need to start or go back to the beginning, go back to the very fundamental aspects of the Chinese sound system, which are tones. Okay, we start with the tones, and then we add more vowels and consonants. We practice syllables, different syllables with tones, and then we get to the sentence level, like we see in these celebrities videos, right? When it comes to the sentence, like all the tones just messed up, right? Like all the tones just go off, and that just doesn't sound like Chinese at all. Okay, and that's something missing in most people's Chinese learning process, and we'll have a whole month to work on that. Okay, so even though you may have learned the tones and all the syllables, and you might think your Chinese pronunciation is pretty good, but when it comes to sentences, there are still a lot of stuff that can be improved. All right, so this is just about my course and my 3 months bootcamp that will close registration in 20 minutes. Okay, so if you are interested, you can just scan this QR code, or here the QR code, and you can join. Okay, and after it, you'll have to wait until next time. So it might be in the summer, or probably in the autumn, as soon as this autumn, and maybe just next year. And by then it's gonna be a separate separate product. So it's just gonna be more expensive because the workload is a lot. Okay, we give daily feedback. That's a lot. Okay. So anyways, thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. 再见。